What's up, everybody? It's been a long time since I did a video. It's been just about 2 years now. In the last video, I shared that my book was completed and released, which was awesome. And then we've had a lot of stuff happen since then. So we found out just a couple months after that that I was pregnant with baby number 4. Pregnancy physically went well, but emotionally it was really, really difficult. I had pretty severe prenatal depression and anxiety. I got back into trauma counseling, had a lot of stuff going on just on the tail end of writing my memoir, which was a fruitful process, but it was also really difficult. And I think I wasn't expecting some of the difficulties that would come afterwards. So yeah, postpartum was tough as well. A lot of the things that I was afraid of postpartum did happen. Things that I'd experienced historically postpartum that I was afraid would happen this time. A lot of those things did happen. And the baby had some health issues. He actually still has ongoing health issues, but overall, everybody is doing so much better. I'm doing much better. He's doing much better. Our family is doing really well. And the next big thing for us is that we are moving our family of 6 to a small trailer in the middle of the woods. So we're downsizing. And so I wanted to do a video to talk about homesteading and kind of the small beginnings that we've had with homesteading. And I've thought a lot about, what does it mean to homestead? What does that mean to me? My definition of homesteading is basically ways that you live that are self-sustainable. And so that can be things like making bread. It can be canning vegetables, either from your garden or from the store that you buy. It can be having chickens and eating their eggs. It can be raising meat birds and then having your own chickens to eat after you do that. It can be having dairy cows or regular cows. It can be having a ton of space, having a little bit of space. I think there is this spectrum of homesteading, and we've been somewhere on that for the last 5 or so years. And we've been living in just a residential neighborhood, taking little steps as we've been able to. And so I want to share what that looked like for our family and hopefully encourage you that even if you do not have a bunch of land, even if you live in an apartment and you can't have chickens, there are things that you can do wherever you are, whatever season of life you're in. So hopefully it'll be an encouragement to you. It's definitely an encouragement to me to look back over the photos and videos of our last 5 years in our house and to see the progress that we've made and kind of the evolution of our homesteading, or what I'm going to call the small beginnings of our homesteading. And we're really excited to do bigger things out here on this land and have more space to do some of the things that we want to do. But I think it's worth looking back and celebrating what we've been able to do in the space that we've been in up until now. So hope that you enjoy this video. If you're new here and this is interesting to you and you want to follow along with us on our journey as we downsize into a 550 square foot trailer, please click the subscribe button. And if you've been here before, thank you for coming back. Thank you for still being here, even with all of my inconsistency. It means so much to me to see comments and people asking questions. When are you going to do another video? That sort of thing. Thanks for being here, and let's get to it.
So I don't know about anybody else, but our journey into homesteading started with chickens. We were given a chicken coop for free that was in a friend's backyard, and they needed it taken down. And so we spent a couple of days out there dismantling it and moving it over to our house so that we could rebuild it. It was essentially just a 12 by 8 shed, like a regular shed, that had a sliding door in the middle of it. And then they had made it so half of it was the chicken coop and the other half of it was just storage for chicken stuff and just like regular shed storage. So we painted that and fixed it up, and then added a 12 by 12 run that we fully enclosed. We put a slanted roof on it with UV protection for the heat and for rain, and then we wrapped it in hardware cloth. And just as a heads up, if you are ever wanting to build a chicken coop and you have any predators in your area, you'll want to use hardware cloth instead of chicken wire, because a lot of predators can get in through chicken wire still. So these are our chicks when they were little. One of my favorite things about having chickens is that we homeschool. So learning to take care of these animals and raise them up from babies is just become a part of our daily homeschool life, and caring for animals, helping them when they're sick. We've also experienced some chicken death that we've had to walk through as a family as well. And chickens are just awesome because they have a lot of personality. And then here they are dust bathing, or as my kids like to call it, having a spa day. And then, of course, a huge benefit of having backyard chickens is getting eggs. And we've had just some gorgeous, gorgeous colored eggs over the years. So this is Rico. He is our rooster, and we had a broody hen who was sitting on 14 eggs. He was the only one that made it, so we brought him inside with us, and he totally imprinted on us. We took him on vacation with us at one point. He is super cool and cuddly, which is just strange to me, but I love it. He'll let you mess with him. He loves to be rubbed and petted, and if you rub him underneath his beak, he'll fall asleep. So we like to make Rico fall asleep, but he's friendly. He's great with all the kids, and it's been really cool to see animal imprinting up close and personal like that. So this was our first garden bed. It was just a wildflower garden, but it was really beautiful, and there were so many pollinators, so many creatures, grasshoppers, ladybugs. It was just like this beautiful little ecosystem in our backyard that we got to enjoy together. And then we always had fresh cut wildflowers in a vase on the dining room table. So that was cool too. This was the first year that I actually had a garden after the wildflower garden. Here it is while it's growing up some. We had a really bad freeze this year, so we didn't have a lot of pollinators. We had a 35-foot pumpkin vine with only one pumpkin on it, unfortunately. But the okra popped off, and I learned I cannot kill okra, which is fantastic. I did kill my passion flower though. I had a few of those, and then I just did not do a great job at that. This was the next season. I didn't get any really good pictures of it while it was growing, but we harvested a lot of purple potatoes and golden potatoes. And then while I was gardening, I also got a pressure canner and started working on food preservation. And so all the things in these jars, the beef stew and the carrots, these are not things that came from our garden. I just went to the store and bought things, but I felt like it was good practice for when we were able to harvest from our own garden. And then my favorite thing that I've gotten into in the last few years is sourdough. I am just obsessed. It's really fulfilling to be able to make something that is nutritious. It's also so delicious. It's also really inexpensive to make, and it's really versatile. There are so many things that you can make with sourdough. And a lot of them are just flour and water and a couple of other ingredients. So great for the budget and great for nutrition for your family. We got baby ducks at one point as well, and then they grew up into these loud, beautiful, quacking ladies that we just absolutely loved. I love them, and I want to get ducks again. But it was a lot to clean out their pool every day, so we rehomed them to someone who had a big pond. And then we got goats as well. We had some goats for a period of time. Goats are a blast. After we get some more ducks, or actually I think we're going to end up with goats before we end up with ducks. I love goats. This was Bill and Ted. They are so much fun. They're just, I don't know what it is about goats. They're just really, really fun to be around. They have a lot of personality as well. We ended up rehoming them. This was a little pioneer house that we made in the backyard. We ended up rehoming the goats because we weren't allowed to have them in our neighborhood, we found out. This is the garden at the beginning of last year. I extended it and put up a cattle panel trellis. And then we also got a beautiful harvest of garlic. I'd never grown garlic before, and honestly, I was kind of like, how is this going to work? How are these bulbs going to sit here all winter and freeze and get muddy and then still grow into something that we can harvest and eat? But lo and behold, that's exactly what happened. And we got, I think, 25 bulbs in a pretty small bed. It's just about 2 feet by 4 feet. And then this is the loofah that is growing or was growing on the cattle panel trellis. Loofah, if you don't know what it is, I have a couple other videos where I share about my loofah growing experience, but it's a gourd. When it's small, you can eat it like zucchini, and then when it gets bigger, it gets really massive actually. They dry out on the vine, you peel the skin off, and then there's this long cylindrical fibrous tube inside, and you cut that up, and we use it for dishes or for scrubbing in the shower or anything else that you would need something scrubby for. And then on the loofah, we had a massive bee swarm that was there for about a week, and then it just left. So that was an interesting experience. This is some footage of the new land, and in the next video, I'm gonna do a tour of the land around the house and then a walkthrough of the house, just so I can document the before, and then of course I'll share as we're building our coop and getting goats set up and fixing things up on the inside of the house.
Here under this shaded area.
We're really excited to have this space to be able to do some new stuff. And I hope that this was interesting to you. If it is, please follow us on the journey and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video.